Since you're talking tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, I know.
good.
Do you have expenditure reports?
I believe so. I think I saw
And I
it.
gave you a copy of the CIP because I don't have a copy. I gave you my copy. What's mine?
Yeah, expenditure report in the end. Yep, got it.
I gave you everything. We don't have approval of minutes because we gotta work on those.
Yeah, that's right. I'll make that announcement every year.
It shouldn't be that long. That's what you
The great man is helping out the village.
Awesome. Good. That was a good move. No, I agree. All right. Is there anybody else coming in? Is that it? That's it. That's it. Welcome everybody to the September 19th Board of Selectmen's meeting. Would you all please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. First item we had on the agenda were computers in Town Hall. Unfortunately, the computer guy couldn't make it tonight, so we're going to move on to item 2. DPW, Pat. Basically what I want to do is have all departments on a monthly basis come in and give us a little rundown on what's going on in the department and stuff. So, Pat, we picked on you to start. So, but before we get into that, I do have something I got to say to you first. Pat, presented to Patrick Smith in recognition of your 20 years of service to the community and the Milton Public Works Department. Thank you for your commitment and dedication. It is very much appreciated. So Pat, if you come up here. I hate the line on you. It's all the way to get you in. I know it is, but it's no other way to get you in here.
Good job, Patrick.
It's very well deserved. Did anybody want to get pictures of him up front so we make him walk the mile again?
That would be nice.
Yeah, come on.
Mr. Smith.
Please.
If somebody gets a picture, we should put it in the paper.
You can just stand up there and
Just come right out here.
I'll come up there.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it. Can we put it in the paper to get it with the three of them?
Oh, absolutely. Nice job, Pat. I want one with you and Pam real quick, please.
Back here.
Okay. She had to put up with you for 20 years.
Now, what I said about department on a monthly basis is true, but I think Heather's going to take care of that in the monthly department head meetings by giving us a rundown of that. So, Pat, is there anything you want to say while you're here? I know you worked hard today preparing everything.
Not tonight.
He's getting his New Hampshire retirement up there.
And I have heard, I mean, this is not on the agenda, but I have heard you guys have got the permits things straightened out, so, correct?
Yep.
Okay, good. I heard that today, so that's why. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna be doing them with Lisa from now on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Lisa, Delamont. Yeah, Delamont.
Did you spell it?
DELIMONT, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Hold me to it.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not good with that either.
Or need her, it's like-
Just I need.
That's it.
That's it. The room is clear now.
I don't know, look at that, huh?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Can see where I stand. Even my wife is leaving.
Nice to meet you.
See you
Knowledge
later.
is power.
Bye. All right. Huh? Good. You all set? Yeah. Oh, I'm good recording going, right? You're good. Thanks. Up next, we have capital improvement program. And I got a letter I'm going to read. This is from the chair of the planning board. And it says, actually this is addressed to myself and as the chair of this committee and to Mr. Brown as chair of the budget committee. So you'll be getting a copy of this for your budget meeting as well. On behalf of the planning board, I am pleased to submit herewith our proposed capital improvement program report for fiscal years 2017 to 2022 for your consideration. The sum total of all projects recommended is $3,864,984.95 for the 6-year program. Capital spending year plus 5 planning years was with $432,770 in this program for 2017, which is below what we usually ask in town for. In our second year, our process of how we gather the information and the process we utilize, including our method for rating and ranking the project requests, was very efficient and assisted us with our recommendations to you contained in the accompanying report and CIP spreadsheet. It is our hope that in addition to the recommended projects, you will consider implementing some of the program-related recommendations, such as those contained in establishing the fiscal wellness document and the suggestion to begin tracking, and managing maintenance records for capital rolling stock. These and other recommendations can be found on page 5 of the CIP report. We thank all the department heads for the presentations on their needs. Some of them return to us, taking the time from their daily workload to answer questions, provide us with the requested facts and figures. Without their full cooperation, we could not have completed this document. Special thanks to Bruce Woodruff for his very helpful and professional guidance. His expertise and patience was invaluable. Respectfully submitted, Brian Boyers, Chairman of the Planning Board. And I agree with what Brian says. Without the help of the department heads and putting all the hard work in and doing all the heavy lifting right up front, this might have never gotten off the ground. So my hat's off to you, all of you. Mr. Brown.
Larry Brown. I was on the planning board, which was the authorized CIP planning committee. And just to emphasize that $3 million is the required statutory plan out for the entire 6 years. And in addition, Bruce's work was, pardon the pun, on the money for moving the entire process forward. And that figure of under $500,000 is based on a lot of the early statistical work that Pat and the other department heads did for what was the average doable warrants on the town budget.
Yep. It was a lot of hard work put in by all involved. Okay. We do have, as I alluded to in the letter, which I'm not going to read, it's the whole CIP program, which the board we got to read and digest and either follow it, make recommendations, see what we want to do with it.
You announced that there's copies of that put in the counter up there for the budget committee tomorrow night.
Oh, okay, thank you, I didn't know there was. I was just informed there are copies of this whole package out there for the budget committee on the counter for tomorrow night's budget meeting. So, next up on the agenda, we have Milton Mills Cemetery Planning Board and Conservation Commission recommendation. Basically, what this involves, under the RSA, was it 4114A? What?
The dog should be on this.
chair jumped right out at her.
Do you show dogs? Do you
I
have
don't
dogs?
have anything with dog, for the dog
Yeah,
warrant
you do,
license.
it's right there, right underneath your gavel.
Oh, I got that, but I don't have anything on the agenda for that.
Should be on your agenda. It's on some of the agendas. Should be on the agenda.
Okay, I got two different agendas.
Leave the non-pub. The pub has.
Okay,
Yep.
so that makes sense what Michelle just said to me when she went, dogs.
Nothing personal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not, wouldn't be the worst thing been called, but, basically, we have the, dog warrants, and I don't know if, chief or the town clerk wanted to address this. We have 10 unserved citations, 5 arrest warrants to to court. So it's 15 owners.
Yes, we only have 15 owners left. We have 5 that we already have warrants for because they didn't pay their original citation, and people who we haven't been able to locate the
You want it?
certifications.
Okay, awesome.
We started with 300 and
I think the original number was.
Okay. That's really good. Consider what we've had in the past. That's pretty good. So,
I can say that Michelle's office does a very good job of getting the word out to residents as well, that you're on the warrant list, you need to get it done. Some people, for some reason, just decide that that's not what they want to do.
gotcha. Okay, so we got 10 unserved citations, is what it says?
10 unserved. Yep.
Unserved?
Unserved.
We gonna get those served, or, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, now I can move on. And I did capital improvements program. That's done, that's done. Milton Mills Cemetery planning, basically, the town does not have a cemetery, so we are in the process of acquiring the Milton Mills Cemetery for the town. In order to do so, it has to go through, this is according to RSA 4114A, it has to go to the planning board for their comments, recommendations, what have you, and it also has to go to the Conservation Commission for their comments, recommendations, or what have you. So, I'll read you the 2 letters I got from them, and then we have to hold 2 public hearings. To the Board of Selectmen, at the Conservation Commission's September 12, 2016 meeting, the board reviewed the request from the cemetery trustees to accept the donation of the Milton Mills Cemetery from the Milton Mills Cemetery Association to establish a town-owned public cemetery. The Conservation Commission voted in favor to support the decision to accept the donation of the Milton Mills Cemetery. This is from the Planning Board. At the Planning Board's September 6, 2016 meeting, the board reviewed the request from the cemetery trustees to accept a donation of the Milton Mills Cemetery from the Milton Mills Cemetery Association to establish a town-owned public cemetery. The Planning Board voted in favor to support the decision to accept the donation of the Milton Mills Cemetery. So we have fulfilled that process, got recommendations from both boards, and now, like I said, we have to post for 2 public hearings, and we advise when those will be. Yeah, moving on. Expenditure report. Any comments, guys? Expenditure report? I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. Andy?
No, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think we're in real good shape financially.
I was looking at the, yeah.
At this point, according to our expenditure report, we have 34.904% used. So that's pretty decent. Very decent. All right. Selectmen comments. Mr. Rawson.
Oh, going fast. I like it. Really, all I have tonight is, well, a couple of things actually. I know that you mentioned it, Tom, to me, but I'm just going to throw it back at you
Okay.
about the fire station. how we're gonna move forward on selling the old fire station. So if you wanna maybe have Heather, I don't know if we wanna get it appraised.
Well, actually, that was one of my comments as well.
All right,
Yep.
then I'll let you talk about it, because you did bring it up, but I just wanted to remind you.
Yep.
So we are gonna, some people were asking about that trunk or treat. We are gonna have trunk or treat this year. We just haven't, this is a big deal for some people, and I think it's a
Halloween
great,
thing, they got,
I think it's a great night for the kids. We just gotta come up with a night, and Karen is in the process of doing that, so.
Andy, can you kind of explain what trunk or treat is? So,
Oh, well,
so
we
the
have,
TV
down at the town beach, anybody who wants to volunteer, bring their cars down, they decorate them, and they fill up their trunk with goodies for the kids, and we have a nice little night out down at, a lot of towns do this, so we have it at the town beach. It's usually a big night for the families in Milton, and so I did it for a couple of years, and it's fun. So if anybody's interested in helping out with trunk or treat, of course, call Karen Brown, because we're always looking for people who want to donate their time and their cars and some candy. So that's what trunk or treat is. My next thing is, we've had the ball field seeded last Saturday by Fred Cameron. We've had the irrigation hooked up. We still have 60 calendars we need to sell. Between Fred Cameron, the Pays, probably Pat Smith, John Cadwick, and some other private donations, probably over $50,000 has been donated in that softball field behind the school. But we're still in a pinch, and evidently we're not going to get any help from the school department. So if anybody's interested in trying to help out or want to help out to get the rest of the ball field built, we still need fence, I guess a scoreboard. Anything else, Pat? The dugouts have been donated.
We need to pay for the fence, we need to pay for the irrigation installation, and we need to pay for loan.
Loan. So after we get that paid, the loan and the irrigation is the two next things that we got to try to pay for, right? And then we'll work on getting the fence around the new ball field.
All the work is done on the field. There's no work to be done. We just have to fundraise now to take care of those three items. We're
Right.
looking at about $25,000 to finish.
Okay. So we still have some calendars. When the calendars been held off till the 30th of this month to start the drawings. So 60 calendars, so $600, but every little bit helps. But everything that's been done up there to date has been all donated, and I want to thank all those people for all their hard work up at that ball field, because it really looks nice, and it will be a huge asset to the families in Milton that are going to be using it. It's not just going to be used for a ball field. I'm sure they'll have soccer or whatever else out there, but they've done a good job. So I can't thank you guys all enough for all your hard work. But I think that's it.
Okay. I got to backpedal just a minute because I forgot administrative comments. So,
It's okay.
yeah.
I was okay with it, but I had a few.
That's okay.
First off, we had a very good department head meeting last week. I thought we had accomplished a lot. We talked about a lot. Hopefully we're going to be doing that. I'd like during budget season to do it more than once a month. I haven't told the department heads that. So those of you who are sitting here, sorry, but I think it's valuable. And it's important for us to communicate as to we go going forward.
Now, you're going to also get an update from the departments for the board?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I've already gotten a couple so far, so I plan to have them all by the next meeting for the departments.
Nice.
I've also asked from the departments to get you the departments to use permits that are appropriate to
Mhm.
send them to you. There are some departments that use state permits, so that wouldn't be something that you'd be getting,
Right,
but
right.
the ones that departments that use permits, you will get a copy of those.
Okay.
The police chief was very helpful last Friday, or Thursday or Friday last week, helping me with some issues on my computer. I've had some major issues on my computer, as most of you know, and he spent some time helping me with that, so I really appreciated his support. We're still working on my computer. We're still working on issues with Michelle's computer, and I believe there's somebody else's computer who's having trouble as well. Hopefully that will be rectified soon. So that's been a challenge, a major challenge, especially going into budget season. I'm finding every town has their unique character, personality, and of course we have different policies and procedures coming here than I have, and processes than other towns. So that's been a little bit of challenge on how and looking at the budget overall, but we're working through that, and I really appreciate. I think all the departments have sent me their budget, and I appreciate that as well. The other goal, after we get past budget season, I really hope that collectively all the department heads and I can work together to come up with some kind of personnel policy, that we can all sit together and just come up with something that would work for the whole town. Obviously, there are going to be a little bit differences because the police and the fire have SOPs, but maybe if we can work together to come up with something that works. But frankly, I'm really pleased with the support I'm getting from the department heads. Everybody seems to really want to support and come up with the same goal.
Awesome.
So that's what's going on. Also, my Board of Selectmen has been extremely helpful, so those of you at home that don't know that, they are really at the end of the phone when I call them. So, that's what I have.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Just one other thing. Betsy, do you have anything for the library? I'm sorry. I didn't get to
That's
the
all right,
to the
I
meeting,
am.
but do you have any
I
updates?
do have one thing that
Yeah.
I want to, not a thing, I want to introduce
I'm a
Linda
person.
Kay. And a very generous person. Linda is a member of the Liberty Chapel, and it's not that anymore, is it?
Yeah, Liberty Chapel
Liberty,
Congregation.
Liberty Chapel Congregational Church in Milton Mills, and they want to donate a piece of playground equipment to the library playground. And
Nice.
so, I asked for her to come here tonight to, if you had any questions or concerns, that, so we can go ahead and go forward with this.
Well, first and foremost, thank you very much. That playground too is, I mean, every time I go to Milton Mills, it's being used. I always see a few children out there.
They're just swings.
Yeah.
I know we don't have a lot of property, but
Right.
we had a couple pieces that we were looking at. And I know we have to talk to the highway department, we've talked to the Friends of the Library,
Sure.
and the library trustees, Larry. And there's a lot more kids out there now in town,
Right.
so they do use a library, inside and out, in
Mhm.
the playground. So we were gonna donate money for that's our outreach program at our
Mhm.
church.
Well, thank you so
we're gonna
much.
put that in the community,
Do we know what the value of the donation is?
$1,000.
$1,000?
Very nice. I mean, if you want to get together with Karen Brown, she has a
Check with
a
Primex.
whole book of playground equipment that,
Yeah, we
because,
have
Linda's
that.
Yeah.
already.
oh, you have it,
Um,
okay.
I talked to Ultra Play, the person
Yeah.
that did the,
Do we,
your,
all right,
playground.
just to make sure we're covered liability-wise, I don't know what the piece of equipment you're looking at is. We should check with Primex to make sure there's no issues as far as falling, you know, that type of thing.
I'm sorry, as far as
We,
what?
as far as kids falling off it, getting
Right.
hurt off it, whatever it is, I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll show you pictures, but,
Okay.
and you can have the pictures if you'd like.
Yeah,
But we talked to Larry, we know we have to get the certain, wood chips, professional wood chips, which what's his name? Lane Kaufman, he's with Altaplay, and he's the recreation consultant, and he's
Mhm.
been out there and looked and measured and, yeah, you can give him that. And, showed us what we have to do regarding that.
okay.
going to start with this and hopefully get this in.
And you can always,
Wow.
the
Great.
chips we
Nice.
used for the town playground, we got them from Farmington, didn't we?
Cameron's, I
Cameron's,
thought.
I think.
Yeah,
We're
Cameron's.
gonna try and see if we can, we won't need
Huh?
hardly anything for what we're planning on doing.
I can't remember where we got them.
Okay.
Where are we planning to
Did
put
we?
it? I'm sorry,
Milton.
Gordon Manus?
Milton Mills with the
Oh.
library.
No, I understand
Oh.
that. Specifically within that, you're looking at the sanded area?
Right.
The
That's
only
what we can
thing
do.
to remember is that on the end that's closest to the library, there's a septic tank.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we- well,
So
you-
it's
you-
just something
you talk
to
about-
bear in mind as
Take a
to
picture.
Right,
location.
right, and they're not big pieces, and all we can get is, well, we'll try to do one at a time,
Okay.
donation wise.
We haven't received it yet, but Lane Kaufman did come to the library with the site plan and looked at, the septic system and the
Okay.
dry well that's attached to that.
Okay,
And he's supposed to be giving us some kind of site plan.
cool.
Awesome.
And I, of course, will talk to
Alright.
Pat about that.
We got Larry? Larry had a comment first.
Larry Brown, in this case, library trustee, Larry Brown. One of my favorite phrases among thousands is, always give people a heads up.
Mhm.
And this is that kind of conversation. Linda came to the meeting of trustees. She has also been to the Friends of the Library. And I know that, as I remember, Lane was the mythical Lane Kaufman, who was so instrumental in the work of putting together the playground
At the beach.
The town
Yep.
beach.
Yep.
So we're not dealing with an unknown quantity, and we're not dealing with anything resembling one of the countless bags of cement that that Mike poured. This is just the initial discussion for how to take advantage of the history of community contribution to the playground. What was first brought forward by Mary Kibbe, what time and age have taken away from the spring horses, and how we can fit that with what Gordy said very accurately are the necessities of the site. So this is just not even the first olive out of the jar. This is just loosening the cap on the top of the jar.
Oh, that's awesome. I just make sure that, like I said, Primex gets, some way gets in the picture, so they make sure everything's
Yeah.
covered. That's all.
Like to-
And I'm sure it'll be no problem.
Yeah, Lane has already talked in terms of the qualities of the mulch, of the
Mhm.
bark chip, and the depth that would be required for a necessarily small scale. But we tried to fit one. Linda had some wonderful pictures, and you had a Papa Bear, Baby Bear, and Goldilocks. And whatever it is, this is something that would be a challenge to what I will call the 5 to 10 set, but absolutely dull to a teenager.
Again,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. Mike?
So we've all driven by the fire station.
Yep.
It's a nice building. So what I wanted to do, Chief Marique has put together a list of local businesses who had contributed to our Milton Town Fire Department. Business is Lars Heating System Company, 2 large neotherm hydronic boilers. Estimated value is $9,000, and they were coordinated by the Milton resident and Lars employee Mark Hughes. Business Ronnie's Johnny's, Sebastian Septic, 3 porta potties, estimated value of $1,200, coordinated by owner Ron Sebastian. And last, Mighty Joe Campground item, one 30-foot pole, flagpole with flag, estimated value $1,900. Owner Susan Marique. And that's pretty much, the other thing I have is a reminder to the budget committee, we're meeting tomorrow at night at 6 o'clock, Larry, is that what the time it is? Okay, there's a CIP handout on the front counter for everybody when they walk in. I'll see that they're in here tomorrow night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. That'll be all I have, so.
Thank you, Mike. I just have a couple of them have been addressed. Last meeting, we talked about a social media policy. It was actually handed out, a resident had done some research and had given us a couple of towns their social media policy, and I passed out to the board. I'd like to look at that. I'd like to have something in place by the second meeting in October. So if we could look at that and.
Well, do you want to have some sort of work study, or, I mean, you got any free time?
I do. I mean, if you want to have a workshop on that to go over it.
There is going to be a workshop at the New Hampshire Municipal Conference, which is the third Thursday on that. So I don't know if you want to wait.
On
there.
the social media policy?
On developing a social media
Oh,
policy.
nice.
For your
Okay,
town.
and you're going to?
I'm going, and anybody, you guys can all go. So I don't know.
Well, yeah. When is that?
The third, I think it's either the 16th and the 17th, the 17th and 18th. I don't have my calendar.
All right, if you could just let us know,
Okay.
because that's interesting. I would like to go to that.
Okay.
I mean, I looked the policies over, the ones that were handed to us, and they seem pretty good. I like one better than the other, but I wanted to get the input from the whole board before we went anywhere with that. Heather's going to send us all an email about local government center.
Mm-hmm.
It's not local anymore, but it's
Miami.
yeah. They're having a workshop on that as well, so we're invited to that. The next thing that I was going to bring up was permits. You know, Heather's already addressed that. I'd like to have a copy of all permits that we can have that town uses, you know, given to the board so we can review them, find out if they need to be tweaked, find out if there need to be any strength put into them or whatever it is. You know, any and all permits.
Current permits, you mean?
Yes. The next item, which was again was brought up, is the old fire station. The new fire station's coming along very well, and we need to start looking at what we're going to do with it. Whether we're going to sell it, auction it, or if we're going to repurpose it. I know what my feeling is on it, and I think we need to start addressing that. Maybe get it, assessed, find out what the value is of it, and see if we can recoup some of the money that we spent for the new fire station. It'd have to go back in the general fund, but it's a way to show the public that we are trying to keep the cost down just as much as we possibly can by bringing some of that money back in-house. So, the next item I have is, at the last meeting, we had a resident, can't remember his name, came and talked to us about renewable energy incentive, which is basically a tax incentive for solar panels, pellet stoves, that types of thing. I think we need to look at possibly, we had told the resident that we would probably put it on warrant articles as a selectman warrant article to adopt that. It has to be adopted by the town, and so we need to look at that, maybe get a copy of that warrant article and see about putting that on the March warrant. Thoughts?
I don't know,
Yep.
totally,
The next thing, as all of you may have noticed, and if you hadn't noticed, I'm going to bring it up, we had no minutes to approve this meeting because unfortunately the minutes that were taken by our new recording clerk last meeting were not in a format to be approved. So we're going to table that to the following meeting, next meeting. So I understand it's outside the statute of time frame, but the draft form is available, but they need work. Yes.
Did you lose your recording clerk?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. We mentioned him. We had another meeting this month. He was under the impression we didn't have another one until October. We got that? I don't know. So, the last meeting, the last meeting was the first and the last time I met him, so.
If he shows up tomorrow night.
No, he's not doing the budget meeting.
Hmm?
He's not doing the budget
Oh, he
committee.
was.
Well, that was the,
That's what we thought.
that was the initial intent, but when we talked to him at the last meeting, he says that he doesn't want to do budget meetings. So,
We need to work on that.
yeah. Still a work in progress, so.
Question?
Yes, Dave?
So far, I've been doing with,
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, okay?
what's that?
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get in the public comments if you want to talk about it in the public, or we could schedule a meeting with just you and us.
Okay,
Either way.
all right.
So, that's done. Public comments. Mr. Brown.
I believe that was Russell Nears of Evergreen Valley.
Neil. Russell Neil, thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, stigmatism.
Yep. I remember the name was just going out, but yeah, it was Russell Neil who brought that up, and I thought it was a great idea, so we are going to put it on the ballot and see what the public thinks. So, anyone else?
Oh,
Yes.
that my capable executive staff prepared for me, and I forgot to bring. I will drop it off. I have the material on the standard DES anti-dieseling, anti-idling statute.
Okay. Appreciate it. Yes, Ryan.
Ryan Hebo.
Yep.
I just read the last part of the draft minutes out there for last meeting, and I just wanted to thank the board for the comment of the safety issue behind Fremont Auto getting in there. I don't know if it's going to stay or not, but I noticed it was in the draft meeting minute.
I don't know. Okay. All right, no, I haven't seen, I mean, I saw quickly, I haven't read them, because like I said, they were in kind of a bit of a rough draft format, so.
Yeah, like I said, I just read the
Yep.
public comments, my section, and then just for the record, just the concern with the wall behind Fremont Auto. Just as a reminder, it was about a year ago next month that came down and crushed a Ford Ranger truck, and 3/4 of it was rebuilt.
Okay. Anyone else? Public comments?
So before we close,
Don't go putting your hat on there, Gordy. I thought you were raising your hand.
So before we close, Tom, here,
Yeah.
do you want to have a workshop on the media? Because
Well, I think Heather was suggesting they are going to have October, somewhere around the 17th that week. Wait till that. And the local government center is going to have one. So wait till after that, see what comes out of that. Then we can have a workshop on taking that as well.
all right, so
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit longer.
It'll be longer than the October. I didn't know about this local
Anticipated.
government center. Yep.
Okay, just want to let you know.
Chief?
Did you need to make a motion or want to make a motion to accept those donations that Mike brought up? Or is it?
Done it for every other thing.
Yep.
All right, make a motion
The only
to,
reason I asked the question is because the boilers were donated through the subcontractor, but they still came back to the town. So-
Okay, all right.
And the flagpole is donated directly to the town, and the other
All
ones
right.
are donated through Ekman Construction, so it's kind of a gray area, but I just wanted to make sure we.
We'll make sure we cover it, so. Go ahead.
okay. I'll make the motion to accept the donations from Laz Heating System Company, Ronnie's Johnny's, Sebastian Septic, and Mighty Joe Campground, Susan Marie, as mentioned earlier.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anyone else, public comments? Not hearing any. Close public comments. Any other business? Yes.
So it's unfortunately not on the agenda because I got
Press.
it late
Okay.
the week last week. We received a grant, highway safety grant again, This highway safety grant is for $4,500. It's to purchase equipment to go into our cruisers. It'll purchase a driver's license scanner, the e-ticket citation printer, and give us a GPS coordinates locator. This will all work with our MDT system and allow us to, once the system goes live next year, we'll be on the e-ticket system, so we won't have to fill out the citation and send it in the second the officers hit enter in the car. Once they put the citation in, it automatically goes up to the state. There's a printer that's in the car, prints out the new citation, that is given to the driver. Like I said, the grant's $4,500. We have to have an in-kind of $1,125. Install and training costs will cover the 20% that we have to cover on the
Okay.
grant.
All right.
So I would like the board's approval to have the chairman sign this so we can send it back and get these into our cruiser.
Need a motion to accept and have the chair sign it.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Sign.
Aye.
Okay. All right, the motion's been made, so said,
Yeah.
of Chief. Okay.
And seconded, and we have all in favor.
I'm going to leave it with you again because it's like the last one. You've got to sign right here,
Yep.
put your title here, and then you have to initial at the
Yep,
bottom of
page.
every page.
Okay.
And there's two
And
packets.
I'll give it to Heather and you can get it from her.
That way. It's
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Brown.
Would it be possible to ask a technical question of the chief?
Sure.
Which is, back from committee work in Concord, I remember that warnings died after 3 years.
Warnings do not go in the state system.
They do not. So,
Warnings stay in the local systems only.
oh, okay, so that the wonderful system, the e-system, but I was just wondering how they would have an automatic dead litter, but it's not there. Thank you.
Yeah, warnings won't go in the e-system either. Only citations will go into the e-system.
Very good.
All right, very good. Anything else? I don't know. Dave, did you want to stay behind and talk to the board for a second? Or do you want to schedule something with the town administrator for?
Yeah, I'd like to, I guess I don't want to do it public.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I understand. So why don't you schedule something with the town administrator to come in and talk to us, all right? Be the best bet.
I can do that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So far, I've done.
Yep. Yeah, let's just
Let's not
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it.
Let's just
leave
go.
it at that, please.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay, any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, for showing.